Bonjour à tous. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to this graduation ceremony. You're probably as impatient as I am to meet our 2019 seniors, so I will ask you to please stand up to welcome our graduating students. Wow, you look terrific. On a daily basis, he works hard to enable to this great school to run smoothly. Please welcome Emmanuel Texier, our head of school.
Bonjour à tous. Vous êtes très beaux. Vraiment, sincèrement. I never had a graduation ceremony when I was a student, but now I get one every year, so that's even better. Monsieur le Consul Général de France, Monsieur le Président du Comité de gestion, chers élèves de la promotion 2019, chers parents, chers grands-parents, familles, amis, chers collègues, Mesdames et Messieurs, bienvenue à la cérémonie de remise des diplômes de fin d'études du secondaire et de médailles du baccalauréat 2019. Welcome to the 2019 Graduation and Baccalaureate Medal Award Ceremony. I'm really pleased to be with you this afternoon and feel very honored to open this ceremony in the beautiful theater of our school, the Lycée Français de San Francisco. In fact, this ceremony, is also called the commencement ceremony, and I just love this American way of naming it. Graduation is really about the past, and commencement is about a future and a beginning. You will notice that I made a difference between the past and a future, but I'll come back to that later. Students, for now, I would like to point out that you didn't end up here by chance. So let me acknowledge all the people who made it possible for you to be here. I would like to thank all your parents, teachers, educators, friends, everyone who through kindness, love, professionalism, and dedication have been your best support behind the scenes for 18 years. Thank you also to all the people who worked countless hours to ensure we can have a beautiful ceremony today. Thank you to the fantastic group of parents volunteers. Thank you to Elodie Galisso and her team. And a very special thank you to Chantal Geoffrion. Chantal has been instrumental in organizing these ceremonies for years at the LFSF. She has led Actually, that was just in 30 seconds, so let me finish, but we can do it again. She has led many generations on this stage and probably other stages that I don't know of. But now she has decided to leave along with the class of 2019. So please make a big round of applause for Chantal. Of course, students, this is your day. Think about this fantastic journey, which started 15 years ago. I mean, the journey at school. All the work, all the books, the kilometers, I should say miles here, of writing, the thousands of hours of lessons, the hundreds of tests, which brought you up here. You made it. And today, far more important than a diploma and a medal, you received the recognition of an education which is now part of you. And a very special education, a bilingual and bicultural journey, which is highlighted in this ceremony where you will receive both the US high school diploma and the French baccalaureate medals. Symbols of two strong education systems combined in one school. The best of both worlds, really. You all have different backgrounds, different stories. You all have been educated in San Francisco, in the USA, in France, or elsewhere in the world. You have different nationalities, but you all share something in common. You all share the values of French education, dating back to the age of Enlightenment. Descartes, Voltaire, Rousseau must remind you of something. I hope so. And you are now carrying the principles, the fundamental principles of a tolerant, open-minded society, in which the culture of debate and access to knowledge and education are strongly valued. Class of 2019, you all share these values, not only between you, amongst yourselves, but with the more than 700,000 students who sat the baccalaureate this year in France and abroad. You are now not only an alumni of the Lycée Français de San Francisco, but also an alumni of the Lycée Français du Monde. But let me go back to my introduction, when I talked about a future. A future, because I refuse to see future as something which is set in stone, as if there was only one future and one possibility. On the contrary, future is cloudy, future is open. Future is a countless number of possibilities, but future will be made by a countless number of choices. All the choices you will make will build a future for yourself, for others, and for our planet. When you do these choices, and there will be many choices, trust me, try to be open, try to be welcoming, try to be mindful of others, and maybe even more important, always be yourself. As deep inside you, there is a part of you that knows the right path. You will not always be able to bend the world in the shape you want, but you can try. You can try to create the world you want to live in. You have been privileged of being educated in our lycée, in our school. You were given many tools to make the right choices, so you need to try hard to make our world a better place. This is now also your responsibility. And when I look at you, I have faith in a better future. I warmly congratulate the new graduates of class 2019. To all of you, I wish all the best in your future studies, all the success you deserve in your professional career, and even more important, a beautiful life. Thank you.
Thank you, Emmanuel. As you probably know, the Lycée Français de San Francisco is part of a large network of schools delivering the French curriculum and promoting the French culture and values around the world. It could not be possible without the support of France. France is represented in San Francisco by Emmanuel Lebrun-Damien, the Consul Général de France, who is honoring us with his presence today. Please welcome Mr. Lebrun-Damien.
Monsieur le Président du Comité de gestion, cher Éric Moreau, Monsieur le Proviseur, cher Emmanuel Texier, enseignants, faculty, administration, parents, families, friends, and most importantly, students. I would like to start by quoting philosopher Michel Serres, a friend of San Francisco and Silicon Valley who we dearly miss, who said, "Le savoir rend heureux. Le savoir rend libre." Well, this is what we are celebrating today through this graduation ceremony. Happy graduates you are, as well as free and active citizens of the world. Today is your last day in high school. You made it. Yes, you were expecting this day, and now you will regret it. This diploma represents hard work, dedication, and a lot of learning. And you cannot imagine the sense of relief your families are experiencing. Then congratulations, class of 2019, for your achievements. We are all extremely proud of you. Congratulations as well to your parents, who made a lot of efforts and sacrifices to enroll you to the Lycée Français, showing their attachment to bilingualism, to the French curriculum, to our culture, to our values. And congratulations to your teachers and the administration of this school, who provided this excellent education which has allowed you to thrive both intellectually and personally. Your years at the Lycée Français will remain a significant moment in your life. This institution perfectly embodies the values embraced by l'Agence pour l'enseignement français à l'étranger: excellence and openness. Because our education system is a carrier of values and not only of content and knowledge. These values are tolerance, humanism, equal opportunities, intellectual curiosity, critical thinking. And we now count on you to carry these values and promote them in a rapidly changing world where sometimes we see them threatened. Diversity and tolerance in particular are treasures that must be nourished and impelled. The Lycée's diversity statement perfectly embodies this state of mind. Our community is made of people of many ancestries, origins, colors, religions, gender identities, family structures, and socio-economic backgrounds. As Voltaire said, la discorde est le plus grand mal du genre humain et la tolérance le seul remède. Education, culture, and travels are what make people more tolerant. And the Lycée provided you with these three things. You traveled to France and other regions of the world, Some of these trips, I think, were designed to participate in sports competition. You also studied music, cinema, and theater. And this theater where we are gathered has acquired through its program a significant visibility among the Bay Area francophone community, and you were part of this story. Le théâtre est une tribune. Le théâtre est une chair. Le théâtre parle fort et parle haut. That's Victor Hugo. And that's the message I have for you today. From now on, your choices, your lives, your achievements will be a statement. You are the luckiest of your generation. Very few in the world have had your chance to benefit from such an excellent curriculum. Very few in the world have the chance to be perfectly bilingual, sometimes trilingual. Very few in the world enjoy a double cultural heritage. Be aware of these strengths and don't spoil them by being immodest. Noblesse oblige. On the world stage, carry these values of excellence, openness, tolerance, and diversity. Show the world the reputation of France and Silicon Valley in math, engineering, and entrepreneurship. Connect the world, be creative, thrive as artists, athletes, and activists. And most importantly, enjoy the journey. Have fun. Soyez fiers de ce qu'on vous a enseigné ici. Soyez les porteurs des valeurs qui sont désormais au cœur de votre identité. L'amitié franco-américaine de demain dépend beaucoup de vous. Le monde de demain sera ce que vous déciderez qu'il soit. C'est un très beau voyage qui commence aujourd'hui pour chacune et chacun d'entre vous. Soyez-en le pilote et bonne chance.
Thank you, Emmanuel. He is the guardian of the school's mission. He graciously devotes a lot of his time and energy to this school. Please welcome Mr. Eric Moreau, the President of the Board of Trustees.
Monsieur le Consul, what a beautiful and inspiring speech. Thank you. Parents, faculty members, administration members, students, congratulations to all of you. This is a moment of celebration. I echo Emmanuel Texier's comment on the choice of words between graduation and your future, the commencement. The years you spent here, as you've heard two of my predecessors emphasize, have built you to become very strong, to be open-minded, and I can vouch for that education. I received that myself. And the world will be a lot easier for you, as opposed to many young students that are graduating these days. You received a very special gift here, and you have to thank your parents for that, and your teachers. If I can echo also Monsieur le Consul's advice on look at this world with a very open mind, but also you do carry a big responsibility. Noblesse oblige, indeed. And you're going to enter numerous types of universities, different experiences, and I would like to strongly encourage that you stay in touch. I'm sure you will. And not only with each other, but with your school. So you know, as mentioned, I dedicate a lot of my time to the school because I love it. I discovered it to be a jewel by meeting you at the Carrefour Villetier every year. Among other things, I wanted to see my son when he started what was going to happen at the end of the tunnel. And I'm amazed. I'm amazed at how brilliant, how talented all of you show your skills and your expressions on the stage, in activities, in volunteering around the school. So stay in touch and come back. You know, currently I'm interviewing 3 alumni that are about 15 years away from you today, who are now in the workforce, and they're interested in working on the board. They want to give back to the school. They've had many opportunities traveling around the world and living that adventure you're going to see yourself. So enjoy it. It's a lot of fun if you do it right. And don't be afraid, you're well equipped, you're well trained. As a matter of fact, I think, I'm going to repeat what I said last year, that if you go to college in the US or even in Canada, you're going to find your first year or two a lot easier than what you just lived here. Okay? It's an opportunity though, it's an opportunity to make friends, to not have to study nonstop, although you shouldn't slow down. But it's also an opportunity, if I can give you a piece of advice, try to socialize with students outside of your major, because those will be your competition in the future. Try to make friends outside of your major, because those will be your clients. Okay? So having said this, I congratulate you, and I thank again everybody here who has volunteered, who has put you in this place, and given you the best they could. And bon voyage.
Thank you, Eric. She's been an invaluable resource in your college search. She guided you through the stressful process of college applications. Please welcome Nathalie Bitton, the college counselor.
Bon après-midi à tous. Good afternoon, everyone. Dear graduates, I have been on the graduation stage for 13 years now, and each year it is an honor to share the stage with you. Today, it is to celebrate you, the class of 2019. I am grateful to have experienced the college admissions process with all of you, through the ups and downs, the uncertainties, and the celebrations. We went through a lot of lollipops. Upon reflecting what I would talk about today, I was brought back to my own educational path as a first-generation immigrant college graduate. My parents left North Africa 50 years ago for the promise of something better for their 7 children. They wanted the promise of better opportunities, better lives, and the promise of a better education. In this country, primary and secondary education is a right. The promise of college, however, still remains a privilege. Would it surprise you to know that the US Census reports that only 36.7% of adults have a college degree? 36.7%. I mention this because you're now about to enter the next phase of your journey to college in the United States, Canada, France, and elsewhere. With privilege comes a great responsibility, a responsibility to ask yourselves, how do I use this privilege for the betterment of society? How will I help others, help the planet, and help society? Wherever you land in your future endeavors, express yourselves and share your unique gifts with others so that together we may live on a planet where everyone can feel safe to be who they are and everyone has equal access to resources that enrich their lives and those around them. As you follow your dreams, be kind, mentor others, and be part of the solution. And speaking of being part of the solution, Since 2010, LFSF has awarded the Jean-Jacques Grandier Award to a graduating senior whose actions, character, and integrity during high school have exemplified the mission of the school and have embodied the spirit of Jean-Jacques Grandier's vision of community, compassion, bilingualism, multiculturalism, and global citizenship. Faculty and staff participate in honoring this award. This year, we have 2 recipients of the Jean-Jacques Award. Congratulations to Margot Lee and Calvin Quick. You are among a long line of distinguished LFSF graduates who have embodied the spirit of global citizenship. Thank you for being you and enjoy this recognition. Please come down to receive your award and say a few words.
Thank you to everyone who helped me get this award. That's it.
Yes, thank you very much. It's a pleasure.
Lastly, we want to recognize graduating students and their parents and guardians who have entrusted the foundational years of their education to LFSF and have been with us since the pre-K kindergarten years. I apologize in advance if we have missed any names. Please stand when I call your name and we will applaud at the end. Hugo, Francois, go ahead and stand. Isabella, David, Ethan, Olivier, Antoinette, Nicholas, Gabrielle, Margot, okay, Greg, Sophia, Hannah, Lilia, Nora, Sophie, Agathe, Calvin, Lillian, Thomas, and Sebastian. Congratulations.
Thanks, Natalie. It is now with great pride that I will say just a few words to this senior class. This graduation is the culmination of years of hard work and the acknowledgement of the successes achieved. Today, we commemorate the road you have traveled together. I've seen each of you grow in a way that you should be proud of. You arrive here today as a skilled and valuable group, ready to tackle the next challenges, which will make you grow further. To be honest, I am very happy and proud, but at the same time, a little bit sad because I will miss you guys. I will miss the special moments when, in a meeting full of adults, Calvin speaks, and suddenly, everyone is quiet and hang on to his every words. I will miss walking by your student lounge and glimpsing Joseph in deep concentration or half asleep, I will never know. I will miss the daily cheerful "Bonjour madame" from Liliane and Leah. I love you. I will miss sneaking in your lounge every Friday morning to leave a chocolate croissant in locker number 374. I could go on forever, but now it's time that we listen to you. But just before that, let me thank you all the parents and guardians for their active participation in your education. Their collaboration and input were hugely appreciated. I also want to thank the dedicated staff of the school, all the staff, teachers, student services, administrative staff, facilities. They do not seek any praise, but their skill and dedication to the task of educating the students is enormous. Dear graduates, now the stage is yours. Some of you will share their thoughts on this special occasion. So let's start with François and Thomas. François, could you
So, when the school personally asked Francois and I to make a speech, two things came to mind. First, we weren't surprised at all that they chose us, and second,
there were truly 3 reasons why we made the perfect LFSF students.
So first, we're the best looking, of course. For example, on the left, we have Francois enjoying a beautiful picnic, and on the right, you have the next Michael Phelps, but with slightly bigger ears and a lot less muscles. And that is until I received my career-ending traumatism through the form of my sister abandoning me off a beach in Spain. Yeah, I almost choked to death. I mean, we look great in yearbooks, flyers, pamphlets, and more.
But second, it's got to be the love that the grade has for us. I mean, I don't want to take the words out of their own mouths, but we're loved. From the teachers to the students, every day walking to the school is like having the red carpet rolled out for you. I mean, you might think it's that great, but sometimes it can kind of be a burden, but we manage.
Third, we're the most cultural, scavenging intellectual enrichment through trips all around the world, soaking in the different cultures and ways of life, and never, I mean never, missing a single moment of it. But on a more serious note, I'd like to thank everybody in this grade and all the staff at the school that has made my experience here so much better. A special thank you to the teachers who always go the extra mile with things like Model United Nations, Startup Lycée, and math competitions, and other activities.
If it weren't for Mr. Guillemet, we wouldn't know what rocks were, and that's invaluable.
Over the years here, since I've been here since K1, I've built many friendships and relationships that I cherish and will truly miss as I move into the next stage of my life. And I hope that we all keep in touch, guys. Thank you to my parents as well for guiding me through these years with endless love.
Similarly, I would like to thank Mr. and Mrs. Thorberger for sacrificing everything for me. But I'd also like to thank my parents for always being there for me. My father left the civil war in Lebanon to come to the harsh, miserable life of New Jersey, and that I have to thank him for. But I'd also like to thank my mom for always spreading her wise mantras, such as "Killun andun siyarat, jiddu andu hmar."
And for all of those who don't understand, as an Arabic speaker and language expert, that loosely translates to spread happiness, right?
But I'd also like to thank all the teachers, and I'd like to give a special shout out to Chantal. Next year she won't be here, and she'll be truly missed by the school, but also truly missed by both of us. Thank you to all of you guys, and hope you guys have a great year.
Thank you, François and Thomas. Now we'll listen to Émilie Chaumartin and Camille Longuet.
Donc bonsoir à tous et à toutes. C'est un vrai plaisir ce soir de pouvoir officiellement clamer haut et fort que nous sommes des adultes responsables en dehors du circuit scolaire et que nous sommes donc les maîtres de notre destin. Donc on voudrait tout d'abord remercier chaleureusement tous les parents qui ont permis par un moyen ou un autre d'offrir une si bonne éducation à toutes ces merveilleuses personnes derrière nous. Également, donc ça m'a permis moi de rencontrer ma future colocataire, Camille. Des plus grands remerciements encore pour tous les profs qui sont les réels héros de cette aventure. grâce à l'éducation qu'ils nous ont apportée, les valeurs qu'ils nous ont inculquées, tous les souvenirs qu'on va garder d'eux parce qu'ils ont fait partie intégrante de notre vie pendant ces dernières années. Donc on voudrait faire un big up particulier à Monsieur Combo parce qu'en tant qu'élève de ES, c'est une sorte d'icône pour nous. Et voilà. On a beaucoup d'affection pour lui et personnellement, ça fait 2 ans que je le vois presque tous les jours et c'est un peu comme une personne de ma famille. Voilà. Et donc voilà, c'est grâce à vous aujourd'hui qu'on est là, qu'on est épanoui et qu'on peut affronter notre futur. Donc merci à vous.
Alors aujourd'hui, c'est un jour très important pour nous, les élèves de terminale, car il marque la fin d'un cycle, mais il marque également la fin d'une aventure de presque 30 ans pour la doyenne du lycée, Chantal, qui quitte l'école comme nous cette année. Chantal, c'est notre petite maman à tous, qui est maintenant grand-mère, celle qui nous a fait sentir à la maison, c'est elle qui a toujours été là pour trouver des solutions à nos problèmes, notre Joséphine l'ange gardien en quelque sorte. C'est aussi celle qui se lève à 4h du matin pour qu'on puisse préparer notre prank day, ou celle qui stresse autant que nous avant les épreuves du bac. Chantal, ta bienveillance, ta gentillesse et ta générosité vont énormément nous manquer, à nous les élèves, mais également à tout le lycée. Alors nous, on a eu la chance de te connaître que 2 ans, mais ça a suffi pour qu'on s'attache énormément à toi et qu'on redoute le moment où on va te dire au revoir. Merci Chantal pour toute l'énergie que tu as mise dans cette école, pour tous les projets qui ont pu avoir lieu grâce à toi, comme aujourd'hui, pour cette bonne humeur que tu as diffusée même pendant les moments les plus stressants. On te souhaite tout le bonheur du monde et le meilleur pour la suite. Merci à vous tous pour ces 2 fabuleuses années au lycée et j'espère tous vous revoir mercredi chez le consul.
Merci Camille, merci Émilie. Nous allons à présent écouter Margot Lay.
Congrats, class of 2019. We did it. Somehow. Cool. Firstly, I'd like to acknowledge the achievements of everyone in the grade. We did well, and although most of our teachers must hate us for this extensive and burdening senior year, I'd like to thank them all for tolerating us and what seem to you now are stupid questions. Although most people say there is no such thing as a stupid question, I believe there are. For the sole reason of figuring out how we've evolved in our intelligence. For example, when I ask 2 + 2, what does that make? 4. Cool. That seems like a stupid question. But let me tell you, my first grade brain didn't find that so easy. I used to think 2 + 2 made 22, and in my brain that was logic. I'd like to say now that my career, this would foreshadow my career in math, but I'd like to say now that I don't question my abilities on solving additions, but rather logarithms, trigonometry, and their various identities. Let's put this into perspective. This year, similar to 4 years ago, as I was applying to the lycée, I found myself reflecting on my abilities, my strengths, and my passions to apply to colleges. I'd like to say I've changed since freshman year, mostly because now I can clearly see I have eyebrows. But not only because of that, also because freshman year I wasn't sure of these characteristics, and although high school has taught me a lot academically and drained me in so many ways, it has also opened my eyes to many of these characteristics and therefore advanced my awareness. But they don't stop there. I think that the next few years of our lives will also help us find our passions, strengths, and abilities. So enough about the corny, try-hard inspirational speech. I'd like to thank everyone who has helped me in getting through high school. I'd like to thank my parents for the sole fact of having to tolerate me in my teenage years. Thanks, but it's gonna get worse. But seriously, thank you for paying for this education and shaping me into the person I am today. Thank you to my friends who have also weirdly tolerated me. You mean the world to me, and I'm gonna annoy you so much next year begging you to come and visit me. You're welcome in advance. And thank you to all my teachers and mentors that have not only shaped me academically, but also mentally for the real world, although I must have had a mental breakdown in 3/4 of my classes this year. Thanks for not acting weird about it. That's it. Thanks for listening to me ramble on about how important some people in this room are to me, but they truly are some of the best people I'll ever meet. Gracias, merci, and congrats, class of 2019.
Thank you, Margot. Anna Lederman, the stage is yours.
Good afternoon. Congratulations to the class of 2019. So, as many of you guys know, I really like snacks. I'm the friend who most likely has a granola bar in her purse, the classmate who pulls out a bag of almonds during the bec, I'm sorry again, and the student who walks into physics class routinely with a bag of pretzels. I would pass around my snacks during our never-ending 2-hour blocks when energy was low and physics formulas all started to meld into an incomprehensible mess. The savory pretzels gave a sense of anticipation, the fear of Monsieur Lampert turning around at any moment and confiscating the bag full of salty, crunchy, desperate hope. But a pretzel is intertwined. It starts out as a long stretch of dough, but it gets folded over into a never-ending loop. The life I'm formed after 14 years at the lycée will forever be intertwined in my future. The language learned, the formulas memorized, or at least stored in my calculator, the friendships made, and my knack for 24-hour snacks. While today might be our last day all together, the beauty of a pretzel is that things come back. There is no end, just a new loop. All the people you've met, choices you've made, tests you've taken have brought you to this moment. But something I've come to learn is that life is not about the what-ifs, but about the guess-whats. Present the day with new opportunities, and even explore a variety of snacks. Just remember to savor every moment, whether it be the little memories in physics class, the moment you purse your lips when eating a sour warhead candy, or even today. So thank you to everyone who supported me by both encouraging me to follow my dreams, especially my teachers and my family, but also to all of my friends who shared their snacks with me in the foyer.
Grégoire Lemel is going to talk to you.
I just wanted to take a moment to thank Madame Riez. Without her, none of this would have been possible. She helped me manage my schedule. She allowed me to succeed both academically and athletically, so thank you. I also wanted to take a moment to thank my parents and both of my brothers who, like us, went through the system as well. And so thank you for continually being an inspiration to me and helping me and supporting me to allow me to succeed. Thank you.
Thank you, Grégoire. Maintenant, nous allons écouter Lilia Leroy-Bell.
Alright, so I consider myself a storyteller, so I've decided to go with an extended book metaphor here. Please bear with me. Somewhere in the opening chapter of my story is my first day of school ever. At the time, I was 2.5 years old, and this was the Lycée Français La Pérouse. And that means that this graduation closes my 15th year here. This school is all I've ever known. It's my home and the main setting of my story. 15 years is a long time to spend in one place, and I would be lying if I said that I didn't get cabin fever at times. But this school is an incredible place and has given me a very unique perspective, and for that, I'm grateful. Now, our grade, we had a pretty chaotic storyline. We had some very, very messy chapters, which I don't care to reminisce on. I've seen the way that our tree got rearranged as some characters left and others were introduced, and how that affected every storyline individually. But after everything that we've done and not done for one another, we pulled through. We organized our own class field trip, and this wouldn't seem like much of an accomplishment except that we actually stopped complaining for an entire day and were able to enjoy ourselves no matter who we were surrounded by, which is truly astounding in my eyes. Now comes the resolution to this part of the story. While I preserve the defining memories and even more lasting feelings that are part of my story thanks to this group, there is a bittersweetness to seeing characters step off of your page and into their own book. But we've created a crossover here that puts the Avengers movies to shame, and that's kind of iconic. We could make a blockbuster movie out of our stories, and trust me, I just might. But for now, it's time to read something else for a change. Congratulations.
Now we're going to listen to Nolwenn Ménard.
Bonjour à tous. 6 years ago, I arrived in this school and I was a small and naive young girl. And over the years, I've learned to love this building, even though I can't wait to leave it today. I love the yellow classrooms and the crowded hallways because of the great intellectual growth that this school has given me. However, my love goes beyond knowledge and learning because I've grown as a person, thanks to those who sit beside me today, and thanks to all of you. At Lycée, I learned to go beyond these walls and to expand my horizons. In this school, we're encouraged at every step of the way to know difference, as much difference as we can encounter in the bubble that is San Francisco. This city is the place where it is normal to see men walking naked in Castro, after all. Simone de Beauvoir famously said, "On ne naît pas femme, on le devient." I became a woman and a feminist in the halls of this school, influenced by the people I loved. At 14 years old, I thought feminism was bad, something to be ashamed of. However, that quickly changed as I was influenced by intellectual women, which sit right here next to me today. Lycée is the kind of place where women, and everyone really, are allowed to be powerful and to pursue whatever they want. Lycée is the kind of place where a sassy 10th grader can tell her English teacher that the poetry packet they are studying is stupid, because it only features male poets who write about women's bodies. Lycée has made us all open and tolerant people in a world where humans are turning inwards and away from anything that is different. Thank you for that. As we go into the real world, we take with us the baggage that this school has given us, the good and the bad. I will forever cherish the memories and the people I have loved here, because they have made me into the person I am today. To the people I love, to my second family, I say thank you. You are all jewels, and I cannot wait to see how you all turn out. Congratulations.
Thank you, Nolwenn. Please welcome Calvin Quick.
So I was not going to do the whole thank you thing, but since both the S and the ES people seem to have referenced their filières, I am just going to thank on behalf of the last 3 L's at the school, our L teachers, Madame Delignier, Madame Beaufour, Yvonne Amrine, Madame Leloir last year. So, without further ado, I would like to talk about a short essay published in 1939 by the English author Sylvia Townsend Warner. She recalls the twice-weekly visits of her childhood French tutor, Madame Houdin, and their friendship forged over Les Trois Années de la Grammaire, a textbook for French schools, which contained not one word of English. But Madame Houdin's copy of Les Trois Années de la Grammaire was published before the separation of church and state, whereas Townsend Warner's was published after. She says, Madame Houdin's copy was in fact hors la loi, as it embodied a great deal of religious and social opinion which, on later developments in the Republic, the Ministry of Education had expunged from the public curriculum, substituting other subjects and other points of view. While Madame Houdin's edition recounted the building of the chapelle expiatoire, mine had a powerful description of the downfall of the absinthe drinker. Where Madame Houdin's edition spoke of the merits of the saints, mine expatiated on the value of chemical manures. And while I was reading that weevil is a scourge of the agriculturalist, she would come clashing in with the statement that Freemasons undermine the base of society. This was not only confusing, it was interesting. Grammar gave way to digressions, and Madame Houdin sparked Townsend Warner's lifelong love of France, although leaving her with a patchy command of French. I think most of the people on this stage have experienced a similar dissonance, going from US history to French history, the same piece of history taught from 2 distinct, sometimes opposing perspectives. We quickly become conscious of the innate bias of every educational system. The notion of an apolitical education is ludicrous. Tout est politique, everything is political, and not just in the grubby, confined meaning of everyday politics. We cannot talk history without being political. We cannot compose model sentences for the subjunctive imperfect without being political. And that is good. For politics to be successful, it must embody the passionate collective heart of a people. As Warner describes Madame Houdin's digressions from grammar, it was as though a living body had been opened, and I was shown how the thrifty, busy hand, the trudging feet, the black eyes, and the nimble tongue are fed and animated by the violent machine of the heart. So the lycée has taught to understand, with a critical but affectionate eye, two peoples, the French and les Américains. Thank you.
Thank you, Kathleen. Please welcome Lillian Stone.
Bonjour à tous. There are great patterns in life, and we all go through them. We may feel different, that we are entirely separate, but at the core, we have all embarked on the same journey and made it to this point in our lives, celebrating the end of high school together. Okay. I stand before you now to thank all of my teachers, friends, and family that have been there to support, challenge, and encourage me throughout the last 13 years of my education at the lycée. I came to this school in kindergarten, not knowing a word of French, but oui. Ask my dad if you want the full story. His smile beams whenever he tells it. But in writing this speech, I stopped to think about the simplicity of saying the word yes. I feel that this school has taught me a lot about when to say the word yes. Yes, I want to take a third language. Yes, I want to explore the many, many intricacies of photosynthesis in spécialité bio. Yes, of course, I want to go to India, Peru, and Tanzania, etc. Without being given the opportunity to say yes, so many unforgettable experiences that I could not have ever dreamed of happening have come true. Maybe I say yes too often, but I am still learning and will continue to forever. A lot has changed since I was the fully American 5-year-old, and my sense of adventure has only grown thanks to this school. The other day, my mom recommended that I listen to a TED radio hour on NPR called Becoming Wise. It inspired this whole speech, so thanks, Mom. One particular speaker, Boyd Vardy, explained his notion of wisdom. Now, as many of you know, I always love to connect everything to the environment, so him speaking to the connection between human wisdom and the natural world spoke to me. He said, "The genius of the natural world arises out of a state of being. To be where you are, that's the essence of wisdom. To allow action to arise out of that being." And for me, that speaks true. When I look around, being the small, tight-knit class that we are, we've experienced conversations, adventures, and classes with each other, and I personally feel that I've learned something from each of those interactions. People are people because we interact with others. We share with others, we communicate, love, respect, and live with one another. Although we are all individuals, it is because of the collective that we can better understand ourselves. So going forward, I want to leave you with this. We are all here in this moment because of ourselves, first of all, but also because of someone else. So thank your friends, family, and teachers because they helped you get here. I know I will.
Thank you, Lilian. Now let's listen to Lia Courbage.
Many people say that today is the day we start our journey. I disagree. That journey began a long, long time ago. Today just happens to be the day where the path we've been traveling on together splits into 45 unique roads. Many of us have been at the lycée since preschool, 15 years ago. Even if you weren't at the lycée, I want to take us all back to that first day of kindergarten. This was the first day of school ever and the real beginning of our journey. Parents dropped us off at school where many tears were shed and roughly 1,000 pictures were taken on these prehistoric devices, I believe they're called cameras, that our parents suffered with before iPhones. For 6 years after this first day of school, we were blessed with recess, nap time, fun activities like capoeira classes in the haunted house, nap time, the kindest, most patient teachers we'll ever meet, and nap time. Through it all, though, elementary school was the first step of our travels. Up until now, despite our individual experiences, we've gone through this journey together. There are 15 years of education behind us now on the road we travel, and we've reached another milestone in our journey. The path we've been walking on brings us to today, Saturday, June 15th, 2019. So let us cherish this moment. We don't know who will have come into our lives and who will have left, and especially where we will be. So right now, let's just be here, completely, undeniably here. We may find ourselves trailing to visions of the future and the past, but pretty soon this will just be another memory, so let's not lose this moment while it's still in our grasp. We're a crowd of athletes, musicians, artists, geniuses, and weirdos. A crowd of moments, knowledge, tears, laughter, and compassion. A crowd of 45 students gathered in one school, and today, our journey continues, another moment in our book of greats. The paths are infinite, the opportunities are endless. So, fellow graduates of the LFSF class of 2019, welcome to the first day of the rest of your life.
Now time has come for you to receive what you've been waiting for, your diploma. Emmanuel and Emmanuel, can you please join us on stage? Back row, please stand. Rémi Robert. Thomas Torbrugge. Cooper. Nora Ling. Sophie Meunier. François Akiki. Déborah Kobi. Charlotte Philippe. Castelier. Gabriel Corby. Émilie Chaumartin. Camille Longuet. Isabella Alessandrini. Antoinette Gauthier. Chiara Villa Santos. Ethan Collins. Anna Beckerman. Margot Lee. David Bartos. Émilie Vivo. Agathe Papillot. Lillian Stone. Congratulations, class of 2019. Please stand up. You may switch your tassel from the right to the left. is now almost time for Emmanuel Texier, the head of school, to conclude this beautiful ceremony. But before, the graduation committee has a surprise for you. So you may turn around and look at this beautiful surprise.
sky is gray.
Vous étiez déjà beau avant, je vous êtes encore plus beau maintenant. Bon ben, je crois que ça va être le moment de vous lever, peut-être. Mesdames et messieurs, je vous présente la promotion 2019.